Good evening. We're back again, Tuesday Night Live. Welcome to Life in Focus on a Tuesday night. I'm so glad to be with you tonight, and hopefully you'll join us and we can have a wonderful time of fellowship and interaction together. I have a couple of announcements I want to make before we get started. On May the 7th, from 3 to 7 p.m., we're going to be having a Kentucky Derby Day at the Texoma Harley dealership over in the town center on Highway 75. We're going to have live music. We're going to have a parade of hats, so you can dress up in your most fancy hat, and we're going to have a parade of hats and pick a winner. We're going to have a silent auctions. We're going to auction off a lot of wonderful things during that time. We're going to have food and drinks. We'll have barbecue, hot dogs, hamburgers, all kind of drinks. We'd like for you to come. Ride your motorcycle if you have one. Okay? We're going to have a bounce house for the kids. We're going to have the fire truck. We're going to have a motorhome. We're going to have a horse race for the kids. We'll have stick horses, and we'll have a mock Kentucky Derby horse race. We'll also be allowing you to, we'll have probably the top 10 horses, buckets for them, and you can buy a ticket and put in whatever bucket you want to choose which horse you want, and the winner, the horse that wins, will draw a number out of that, and you'll win a cash prize. Also, we will be giving away a Harley. There will be a sure winner. You can buy tickets. We're going to have a maximum of 300 tickets that we're going to sell. We don't want to water this down. So for $100, you can buy a ticket to win this Harley motorcycle. You can go online now and do it. You can call me. You can go to our website, makedreamsreal15.org, and purchase it online, and you will receive a ticket, and we'll have a drawing the day of the Kentucky Derby, and you can win a motorcycle. Okay, so we want you to attend that with us on May the 7th at 3 p.m. Be there with all your finery on. We'll have hats you can buy that have all kind of lottery tickets on them, and we're just going to have a wonderful time during that. And it's a family affair, so bring your kids, come out and be with us. So here we are, Tuesday Night Live, Life in Focus. Back in 1959, I believe it was, I joined the Boy Scouts. Joined the Boy Scouts in 1959, and we had meetings every Tuesday night. Our scoutmaster, he kind of let us just play. I was not in it for any serious reasons, but I did love going to the meetings every Tuesday night. We went camping at least once a month, and our scoutmaster, he just kind of hid away, and we all had a good time, built campfires, played, did all kind of wonderful things during that time. But once a year, we went to a place called Camp Glover. It was on Glover River in Oklahoma. Somewhere around Hugo, Oklahoma. I don't really remember where. I didn't look it up before we started tonight. And so I've got a photo up of Camp Glover, still there. And this looks exactly like it did when I was there in the late 1950s and the early 1960s. And what you're seeing there is the non-swimmers area. I could not swim. I did not think I could swim. So I got to stay in this little enclosure while everybody else got to swim out in the river and have a lot of fun, because I was a non-swimmer. Now, let's talk about that a minute. It's one thing to be able to participate in a lot of great activities. It's another thing to be confined to a small area where the other people in there with you are non-swimmers also. So you're all in the same boat, not progressing at all. I went to Camp Glover, I think 3 years in a row, never did learn to swim in all those 3 years. I don't totally remember who tried to help me learn to swim, but I could not swim. And so I got to play in the non-swimmers area. So how many of you are participating in life, or how many of you are in the non-swimmers area? Now, we had a lot of activities when I was at Camp Glover. During that time, we stayed a week. It was very primitive back then. We lived in tents during that week. There was 2-man tents, and we had a big old tent where we ate at. And one of the things that we did was catch copperheads and milk them. You take like a quart jar, and you put a cloth over the top of it and a rubber band around it, and you catch a copperhead and you pull his mouth open, you stick it through that cloth, and it gets all the venom out of him, and then we would pull their teeth where the venom come out and play with them. That was probably not a good activity for us to be doing as scouts, but we had a good time doing it. Also, another thing we did, I don't know how many of y'all know what cherry bombs are. They're a big old firecracker that's red and round and make a lot of noise. And we would take slingshots and light them and shoot them up over the camp. And that's one of the things we did for fun. Every night that we had before we ate, we gathered around in a big circle. I think there was about 100 Boy Scouts there every year. And we had what they call the Order of the Arrow. And I did not participate in hardly anything. I was there just to have fun. So I was a non-participant. But those that participated in the activities and learned and progressed and did responsible things, they were chosen each night. There was several chosen for the Order of the Arrow. And when you were in this circle, it was all facing inward. The scoutmasters would go around and hit you on the shoulders, and you would be chosen to become a member of the Order of the Arrow. Of course, I never got chosen because I was a non-swimmer. I was a non-participant. I was just there. So how many of you are non-participants in life? Maybe you're on drugs. Maybe you, whatever about your life, you're a non-participant. And you're staying and having relationships with people that are non-participants in life and are not progressing in life. So that's what we did on the Glover River. Every year I went there. Now, there's in the Bible there's this verse that says that we're predestined for certain things. So God has predestined us for certain things. But it's up to us to be a participant in that predestination. Maybe you're predestined to be a doctor, a lawyer, an airline pilot, a football player, a basketball player, an artist, a musician, a carpenter, electrician, maybe military, maybe you're predestined to be in the military, a policeman, a fireman. There are all kind of different things, and God just doesn't choose us just to be spiritual beings all the time. We have a thing that we need to get done, and we have this world and this earth, and there are people that families that have children and mothers and fathers and brothers and sisters, and we're all designed to have relationships. So after it says we're predestined for certain things, it doesn't list them, but you can imagine what it might be. Maybe you want to be a priest, whatever that you're predestined for. Sometimes our parents try to guide us in ways that we really don't want to go. But it says that we're called. Now, probably most of y'all, especially the younger millenniums and others, do not remember the old telephones. This was not even a touch-tone phone. It was an old dial phone. Now, when I first started out, we didn't even have dial phones. We had phones that you just picked up, and there was an operator downtown, and she plugged in her deal and said, hello, who do you want to talk to? And you'd tell her, I want to talk to Joe Smith that lives over on 4th Street. And she knew who Joe Smith was, so she'd plug you in. Now, back then also, we had party lines. There would be 2 or 3 people on the same line. So if somebody else was talking on their line, you could pick it up and listen in. Although my dad, we had a private line. And so we had that. And then come along the old dial phone. Come along and you could pick it up and dial somebody's number, and you didn't have to dial the area code, so you could call. So, have you ever heard of the called play ball? Play ball. That's what God is calling us to do. Play ball. Get involved in life. Don't hang out and just be overcome by drugs and go to jail and whatever happens in your life. Be a participant. Play ball. You're called. Your phone is ringing. God is calling you to be a participant in life. And you say, well, I can't do that. I can't be a participant in life. I don't have anything to offer in life. Yeah, you do. You just don't think you do. God is calling you to be a participant in life. Your phone is ringing right now, so answer it. Back in the day, I remember when I was in the 7th grade, we had what we called a junior high prom, and you're supposed to invite a girl, and I finally got up enough nerve to invite a girl, and we had a friend that his mother, my best friend, his mother picked us up, bought corsages for the girls, and picked up the girls, and we went to the prom. And then after that, that girl called me all the time. She was very persistent, so she called me continuously. But I was not really interested in girls at that point, but she called a lot. And that's the way God does. He just keeps on calling. He's not going to let you go. He's got something for you to do. He's giving you talents, and he's calling you. And I remember when I was in the 2nd grade, we were out on the playground, and we were choosing up sides to play softball when I was in the 2nd grade, and I was never very athletic. So everybody chose, there were 2 guys, of course, choosing a team, and nobody chose me. And I said, well, I want to play. And one of the captains that was choosing said, nobody wants you on their team. You can't play ball. You're just no good. I was not chosen. I was called, but I was not chosen. Because the perception was that I was non-athletic and I would not be an asset to the team. So sometimes that's the way it is. We think we can't be an asset to the team. So what you want to know is that it doesn't matter whether or not you're athletic at that point. You want to be chosen. We all want to be chosen. God said There are many called, but few are chosen. Why are so few chosen? Because we're non-swimmers. We're not participating in learning to swim and learning to participate in the higher levels of life. We're just hanging out, not applying ourselves, not taking responsibility for ourselves, and so we never get chosen. It was somewhat when I was at the scout camp. We did that circle every night before dinner, and they went around, the scoutmasters went around and chose certain people to join the Order of the Era. I was never chosen because I was never a participant in any of the activities that would lead to me be chosen. Excuse me. So, are you participating? It doesn't matter whether you can speak well. Doesn't matter what you look like. Doesn't matter what color your hair is. None of those things matter. What matters is that you're a participant. Now, I only have a high school education. I did go to technical school to become an electrician, but I never learned English well. I still can't pronounce a lot of words. So there's a lot of things I can't say. I don't have the contemplate. See, I can't hardly say that word. Contemplate is the word. I never participated in English classes. I never learned a diagram of sentence. I never learned any of that. So I was never chosen for a lot of things because I was not applying myself to learn the things I needed to learn to be able to participate in a lot of different activities when I was in high school. So what are you doing to be a participant in that? Okay? So choose me. Not only does God call us, but if we will be participants, He will choose us. Later on, I became proficient in playing ball somewhat, and I could hit the ball. I could catch the ball. I could pitch the ball. And I played a lot of sandlot baseball and softball and sandlot football. I love football. Just loved it. And so we always were getting the game up, getting it together. God's always getting the game up. Okay? He's getting the game up all the time. Do you want to play? How many of you know people that are on your high school football team or your college football team that never got on the field? Never got on the field. They were always on the sideline. Because in practice, a lot of them didn't ever apply themselves. So they never got chosen to play in the game. You know Michael Jordan? When the game was on the line, he said, "Give me the ball." He missed more game-winning shots than he made, but he was chosen. God has chosen you. God wants you to play. He's getting up a game. Join us. Join it. Help other people. Make a difference. Make an impact. Learn to speak. Join Toastmasters. Read some grammar books. Learn to talk well. Learn to write well. Write every night. Write your autobiography. Not just start writing. And pretty soon you'll be surprised how well you can write. Do it. You got to get involved and participate to be chosen. You can be called, but never chosen if you just stay on the sidelines. God is choosing you. And you say, "Well, I'm unworthy." Well, He said the next word is you're justified. So it doesn't matter what you've done. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter because God said He justified you. He justified you. And then the next word, glorified. Okay? He glorified you. He exalted you. Okay? Don't get proud, but you're called, chosen, justified, and glorified. Get in the game. God bless you. Well, it's time to go again. Thank you for attending tonight. We look forward to seeing you next week. We look forward to seeing you on May the 7th at our Kentucky Derby Day at the Harley dealership, Texoma Harley dealership at the Town Center in Sherman, Texas at 3 p.m. Come and join us. God bless you.